Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Middleware Technologies. Today we will be looking at how we can mask secret data using GitHub Workflow Commands. Okay, so here in this video or article, we will try to generate some kind of a OTP which is a secret data, and we will try to see how we can mask that output in GitHub Actions workflow using the workflow commands. Okay, so I'm currently working on Ubuntu 22.04. So this is basically the runner that I am going to use in order to execute my workflow. Okay, so let us see how we can achieve this in this video. So as a first step, I am going to clone my repository. So this activity, you can do it on any repository that you have. So basically we will need a repository wherein we will try to create some workflows and execute some scripts which we are going to introduce in this repository. Okay, so for this, I am going to clone the learn git repository. So let me go into my VS Code. So this is my repository which I have already cloned in my local system. Okay, so we'll go into the details what exactly we are going to do with this repository in our next steps. So in our next step, that is step 2, we are going to create a Python script. Okay, so as I said, this video is more focused on how we can mask sensitive data using GitHub Workflow commands. So for this we are going to simulate some type of script which is going to generate a sensitive data. Okay, so here I'm going to use the OTP generator. So let me go into my VS Code and open the OTP generated Python script. So as you can see, this basic Python script is using the secrets module from Python library, and we are generating a OTP. Okay, so we are generating a 6-digit OTP using the secrets module. Okay, so you can further go into the details of this code. So it basically uses the secret module and the choice of the digits in order to generate a 6-digit OTP. Okay, so once we have this OTP generated, we are returning that OTP code which we have generated using this Python script. Okay, so this is basically about the Python script that we are using here. Let us now go into the next step, that is creating a workflow. Okay, so in this workflow, we are going to see how we can utilize that Python script and generate that code, the OTP code that we have generated, and mask that data in the workflow. Okay, so let us see how we can do it in the workflow. So let me go into my code and open the secret data workflow. Okay, so as you can see, so this is very basic workflow that I have prepared in order to show you how we can mask the sensitive data in the GitHub workflows. Okay, so this workflow basically runs the job generate mask OTP. Okay, and it runs on Ubuntu latest. So Ubuntu latest means it is 22.04 as of today. Okay, so the steps that we are going to execute is the first step is checking out the repository. So this is going to check out my repository, that is learn git, and then we are going to install Python over here, which is using the action setup Python, and we are going to install Python version 3.11. Okay, so these are the first two steps wherein we are checking out the repository and we are installing the Python library, the Python tool. Okay, then we are going to use our script, that is OTP generator, to generate and mask our OTP code. So here you can see in our third step, that is generate an OTP mask OTP code, we are giving an identifier for this step, that is generate OTP, gen OTP, and we are executing the following steps in this step. Like we are executing the following commands. Okay, so the first command that you can see, so it is basically importing the OTP generator Python script, and from that it is calling the generate OTP, the method that we have defined. And once we have called that OTP generate OTP method, it is going to return our OTP code. So we are saving that OTP code into the variable X, and we are printing that data. Okay, so this OTP code, like we are saving it in OTP code variable or field in this step. So once we have the OTP code, like I'm just printing the OTP code before masking, so we can see like I'm just echoing that OTP code using the echo command. And once and after that, like we are using the add mask workflow command. So this is basically a workflow command which we are using in GitHub Actions step, which helps in masking the sensitive data. So whatever data we have saved in this OTP code, we are going to mask it using the add mask workflow commands. So the syntax is basically, you can see it starts with double quotes and ends with double colon. Okay, and in between that we have the command, and we can pass a set of parameters also. And after the double colon, like we need to provide the value, command value. Okay, so if you want to get more details, like you can go into GitHub Actions Workflow Commands. So you can just search for GitHub Actions Workflow Commands. So it will take you directly into this page, and here like you can see the syntax for using the workflow command. So you can see in the workflow command, like I have used add mask, and we are not passing any parameters over here or setting any arguments for this command, but we are printing out a value that is masked. Okay, so this is what the workflow command is all about. You can go through the other details, like other workflow commands, like you can put a warning message, you can put an error message, and you can output, like you can output the values, the key values into the GitHub output, which can be further used in other steps. Okay, so these are some of the things that you can do with GitHub workflows commands. So once we have masked our data, like now I am trying to send that parameter, like OTP code, to GitHub output. Okay, so once we have that OTP code in the GitHub output, we can use that output parameter in our next step, that is printing the OTP code. So here, like you can see, like I am trying to print the OTP code which is masked from step gen OTP. Like so, this is our step generate and mask OTP, which can be identified or referenced using gen OTP. So from steps, I am referencing gen OTP outputs, and in that, like I am printing the code, OTP code. Okay, so let me try to trigger this workflow again. So I'm just changing my workflow by using a double colon, so that I can just check in that code. So let me push the changes. So I think it is push. So let me go into my GitHub repository, that is learn git, and here like you can go into actions, and this is my workflow, generate OTP and mask data. So you can see like my workflow name is generate OTP and mask data. So this is the workflow, and you can see the workflow has been executed successfully. So let me open this workflow and go into the steps. So as I mentioned, like the first step is checking out the repository. So that is completed successfully. Then we are installing the Python script, the Python tool language, that is completed. We have installed 3.11, and then like we are generating the OTP using the OTP generator Python script that we have seen. So this is going to execute the following steps. Okay, so once we have that steps executed, so as you can see, the OTP code before masking is this code. So this is a 6-digit code that got generated, but this is just to show you like how we can output the data, but this data is sensitive, so we need to mask this data. So we are masking this data using this step, add mask, and we are outputting it to the GitHub outputs. Okay, and in our next step, like if you try to print that OTP code now, like your OTP code is going to be masked. Okay, so this is how like we can generate sensitive data or utilize sensitive data in our GitHub workflow, and we can use add mask workflow command in order to mask that sensitive data. Okay, so this is all I wanted to show you in this video, wherein we can use how we can use the GitHub Actions workflow and try to use the workflow commands to mask your sensitive data. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you all. Thanks for watching this video, and you guys have a great day.